everyone, and welcome back to another Sims 3 speed build. First up today is a shout out to fellow YouTuber British Designer who posted stunning house. I love the entrance and the kitchen. They look amazing. Also, hope you are doing well. Thank you, British Designer. I am doing well. It was wonderful to hear from you. It sure seems like it's been a really long time. I hope everything is doing great for you at university. And anybody else who would like to have a shout out on one of my Sims or any of my speed builds, whether it's Sims 3 or Sims 4, all you have to do is post a comment. Any comment on any of my videos. It doesn't matter if it's a tutorial or if it's a speed build, a let's play, doesn't matter. And each week I go through them and I pick one lucky YouTuber to have a shout out. So this house is actually a renovation of the Rhapsody in Blue, which is in Bridgport. I just felt like doing a renovation. I hadn't done one in it seems like quite a while. It originally sits on a 30 by 20 lot. Yeah, I believe no 20 by 20 lot. I'm sorry, I can't even read my own handwriting. It's going to cost your sim approximately 85,000 simoleons, and it's going to be unfurnished. It's going to cost you also approximately 38,000 simoleons. So even unfurnished, unfortunately, you will not get this house even close to a starter price. Although, but anyway, this house, I really enjoyed building this house. I've actually been thinking about doing the renovation on this one actually for quite a while. I always thought about renovating this one since, I don't know, probably back when I first got the game, which has actually been several years ago. I just never did it. Whenever I do a renovation on any of the houses in the game, I always try to keep something about the house that is a reminder of the house that was originally there first. So in this case, basically what I did is I kept the siding. I kept the same siding color. And then the balcony that it had, I didn't get rid of all of it. I just, I guess you could say half. I kept half of the balcony in the front, and I did something a little bit different with the roof. I don't normally do this just because, well, I just never think of it. But it's where you cut out part of the roof and it's open like a slanted ceiling kind of thing at the top. I'm not really sure how to explain it. It's not really something that I normally do, but I thought in this case that it would look good, so that's kind of what I had done there. I don't really remember anything about this house, even though I just built it, I don't know, a month ago. I know there's a nursery. I just took screenshots of it today, so you'd think I'd remember something. Their master bedroom is downstairs. There's a nursery. I do use some store content this time. Of course, if you don't have the store content or any of the packs or anything that I used, your game will just replace those objects with something that you already have. So, I mean, you can still download it. It's not that you can't. The game will just replace it, so it's not really a problem. So if you like the house, you'll still get the house. And I don't normally use any kind of, I think that siding, well, actually, you know what? Since I used the siding that was on the house originally, I'm not exactly sure where that siding comes from. Whenever I do a build that's not a renovation, the siding I normally use is, I believe, base game, so you shouldn't have to worry too much about that. But anyway, usually it's the furnishings that, I might splurge a little bit with store content. There's a few free items from the store, so when you go to download it, everything will be listed at my WordPress. On that page, it will tell you any store content that was used. It'll also tell you any of the expansion packs as well. So I am still currently moving everything over from my Wix site to my WordPress. I decided about a month ago that I really don't like Wix. I don't know, maybe it's just my internet connection or what it is, but it was always laggy. It took me forever to type anything up. It was just horrible. I really didn't care for it. I liked how you could set it up, but it just was not working for me at all. So basically, I'm just going to move everything over. So I apologize if you look at any of my older speed builds and it has the Wix link to it. That site's no longer going to work. I went ahead and took it down. So just go to my WordPress. I am, like I said, moving everything over there instead. It's going a lot quicker and more smoothly. But it's going to take some time. I have about 100 builds. That's just instance 3. So it's going to take me some time to get everything brought over to the WordPress. So I apologize. All of the builds that I have not gotten to will still have links to the Exchange or to Mod the Sims. All of those are still there. You can download them from there. Just don't click on the Wix because it's not going to load. But like I said, I am in the process of getting everything moved over. So it's going to take some time. As you can see, this is the kitchen. As always, I always start with the kitchen first. I don't know why. I feel like the kitchen, almost like it sets the place or sets the house for me or something. I don't really know. And those upper cabinets are store content cabinets. I really love those, and I thought they looked really nice with those counters. The counters are, I'm horrible with packs. I really couldn't tell you. That's a store pack, or that's just a pack. So I really have no idea. Just the upper cabinets is store content. So, but I do have a little bit of a story, I guess. Story time, maybe. I don't know. But I was actually, was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. I was going to the bank, and I get in my Trailblazer, and it's dead of winter here. So, I mean, we're looking at 10 degrees outside, tons of snow and ice. And so, you don't think anything of it when you get into your vehicle and the leather is flippin' ice cold. So you don't really think about it, right? I'm heading to the bank and my seat is not warming up. Now, the heated seats for the bottom portion of it, the seat portion, has never worked since I had it. But the back does. But I don't live that far from the bank, so I wasn't really worried about turning anything on, even though it's flippin' freezing outside and I hate it. But it's not warming up. In fact, I'm getting colder. A lot colder. I'm sitting in the drive-thru waiting. The bank was taking absolutely forever. There was 4 people wandering around in there, going from station to station, helping everybody inside. And others weren't even helping other people. They were just standing there. And now I work at a bank, so I know what they're doing. And I'm sitting there. I probably sat there for almost 5 minutes, maybe more, and they still hadn't even said hi to me. I mean, they didn't even greet me. Oh my goodness. The first thing I would have done when I was working at the bank is I would have greeted the customer and I would have let them know that, it's going to be a moment. No. They didn't even say hello. They didn't say nothing to me. I thought, well, this is rather rude. At least it could at least acknowledge that I was here and at least just say hi, Well, anyway, I am starting to really get really cold. And I don't really understand why. Normally the leather seat warms up, but this wasn't. In fact, it was getting colder. So I reached down and I put my hand on the seat below, underneath me, and it felt a little wet now. I'm thinking, now why is it, how is it a little wet? And I notice that it feels really ice cold. And when I push on it, it's not squishy. It was literally as if there was a block of ice inside my seat. I'm like, how in the world do I have water on my seat? How did this, I mean, plus I would, imagine if it was fabric, I don't know anything about leather. Whatever, leather. I'm wondering, somehow water got in it. Must have got into the seams or something. I don't know, but water is coming through the leather. I didn't know water could go through leather. Can it go through leather? I have no idea. Anyway, obviously, I have water in my seat, and it's frozen solid. And here I am waiting at the bank in the drive-through, and they're not even acknowledging that I'm there, and I'm really starting to get cold. Imagine sitting on a block of ice. I literally was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to get frostbite because I'm doing whatever I can to try to keep myself picked up a little bit without looking like I'm picking myself up. And without looking like I have my hand underneath myself. I was just like, what in the, So I'm looking around in the car, and it's like, I've never seen any water come through the windows. So I don't think the windows leak, but I happen to look up, and I'm seeing a little bit of water damage around my moonroof or sunroof. I'm not really too sure. The reason why I don't really know is because the motor on it has never worked since I had it. So it's never been open. So I don't really know if it slides open or if it pops open. I'm going to assume it slides open. I think it slides open, but I don't really know. But anyway, that's not really the point. But I see, looks like water damage or a leak has formed around the ceiling of my Trailblazer up by the moonroof. I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Really? Because it already didn't work, and I've been putting it off from getting it fixed because honestly, I have no idea what it would cost to even fix the motor in that thing. Now I have to replace the seals and everything. Oh, it's like, are you serious? Now I have to replace the seals. And now I'm going to take not blankets, but towels with me everywhere I go just so I can sit on it if I need to go somewhere. And I don't feel like I'm sitting on a block of ice. That was horrible. Let me tell you, by the time the bank finally took care of what I wanted to get done and I was able to leave, I left and I tried to get home quickly because it was, like I said, I can't even explain to you how cold that was starting to get. It wasn't just a small section, it was almost my entire seat. And I get home and my pants are wet because, like I said, the water, obviously I was melting it a little bit and the water was seeping through the leather. I was like, oh my goodness. So yeah, yesterday kind of sucked. It was one of the things that occurred yesterday that caused me to be extremely stressful. Yesterday was just horrible. I felt like I was coming unglued on everybody, and that was just the beginning. That happened earlier in the day. That was one of the first things that happened, and it just really, really just pretty much set the mood for the rest of the day, and the rest of the day kind of pretty much sucked, and I felt like I was snapping at everybody, and I had to apologize to a few. I even apologized to some of them online. I was like, I'm so sorry if I seem like I'm snippy today. I'm not trying to be. That's not my intent. It's like, I'm sorry. Today's just been a horrible day. So, yeah, that is my story. I don't normally have stories to give. My life is not that super exciting. So, I don't really have a whole lot that goes on, but I thought that would be a nice story to give you instead of sitting here and talking about this house all the time like I normally do. I mean, you guys can see what I'm seeing. I'm looking at the same thing you're looking at. I'm doing the bedroom. I'm decorating pretty much the same as I normally do for the most part, trying to clutter it up the best that I can. And I just thought I would give you a little bit of a story to go along with it. Now, I did put this, obviously there's a fence all the way, or in the front of this house. Now, the problem with Sims 3 and the fences, sometimes they work, as in your Sims can get in and out of the house fine, and sometimes they can't. Like, there's been a few times where I've had to, the game will be running fine, I'd be playing a personal game or something, it'll be running fine, and the Sims will be going in and out, no problem whatsoever. I could then load the game up another time, be the same save, or it could be a different save, and all of a sudden now, that same exact house with the fence in the front, and the Sims, they can't leave the house, they can't enter the property, they're just kind of stuck. So yeah, I don't really know. All I can really tell you is If the Sims seem like they're not getting to the house or coming out of the house, just delete the fence in the front yard. It's not that hard to do. You don't even need mods to do it. Just turn on testing cheats enabled true in your cheat bar, and then hit shift and click on the ground somewhere and click on build or buy on lot, and that will actually allow you to modify that current lot even if it's not your current household. And just go through and delete the fence, and your Sims will love it because they get the money for removing the fence, so you get a little extra money. So anyway, but yeah, I like to put fences there because I think they just look good. But unfortunately, the game just sometimes glitches, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And I apologize if one of them times it's not for you. Like I said, it's quite easy to take care of. You don't even have to change households or anything like that. Just put your cheats in, edit that current or edit that lot, delete the fence completely, and it'll work just fine. So and if you're wondering about the curtains, in case you haven't seen some of my previous builds, how I'm moving them up and down, that's because I actually have a mod on my computer or on my game that allows me to move curtains, mirrors, and cabinets up and down on the wall, just like if you were moving, say, that towel hanging on the wall right there, you're moving it up and down. You do it the same way. I have not heard from anybody so far that has downloaded my lots that have the curtains or the cabinets or mirrors moved to a different location say anything about it not working. As far as I know, in the testing that I have done, you do not need any of those mods to get the curtains and anything else that I might move up and down using the mods. So don't worry about having to download it. I am pretty certain you will not need it. Anyway, this is the nursery, and I told you I use some store content. The store content in this nursery would be the dresser, I believe the crib, and I think the toy box, and the curtains. Whenever I put the curtains in, the curtains are also store content as well. I really couldn't tell you what pack. I don't know. They got pandas and stuff. I don't know. Some kind of um forest pack. I don't know. Why am I even trying to think? I have no idea. I have no idea. It's something. So I just wanted to put in a nursery. A lot of times I make the nurseries rather small, so I don't get to do a whole lot of decorating. But in this case, the room was actually a decent size. I just thought instead of making it a kid's room, because I have two other bedrooms, a lot of times if I have that many bedrooms, I'll make one of them a nursery. This room is plenty big enough when your baby or toddler grows into a child. You can always put the furniture into your family inventory and give them a regular bed. It's plenty big enough to put in a regular bed. They can even have toys and a dresser, and it should be no problem whatsoever. Now, this room was really odd shaped. If it was maybe shaped a little bit better, it would have seemed a little bit bigger and maybe be able to use a double bed in here. But because it's only like 3 wide going but down each side of it, it's not really big enough for a double bed. So that's why I put a single bed in. In my opinion, a child probably should not have a bedroom that has a balcony just because of safety reasons. That's just my opinion. But you know, the Sims, it's not like they're going to fall off the side of the railing. So, you know, it's not really a big deal. They're not really going to fall off. They're just going to walk out there and play on the chess table. I believe I put a chess table out there, which, you know what, is pretty good for me because I almost never put anything on balconies. But I believe, I'm almost certain, I stick a chess table out there with chairs. Now, I really can't guarantee that's going to work though, because even though it seems like it should, it's in a 3 square spot. You know, a square for the table in the center and then 2 chairs on the side. But I had to put move objects on in order to get the chairs and the table in there. So I don't know. It's either for some reason it's not big enough, or maybe it's the exterior door. I really don't know if it's going to work. So I apologize. One of the chairs should work just fine for you. It was just the one chair that just wouldn't want to, it didn't want to snap in. So you'll probably see me fight with it a little bit. Anyway, this is, I guess you could say, I don't know, a teen girl's room because I put flowers everywhere. I try to decorate a little bit different in this house by not always doing the same wood textures. As you can see, I really had to like fight with myself because the two lamps don't match. I put two different kinds of lamps on the end tables, and that kind of bugs me. That really bugs me, and it was actually quite difficult for me to just to leave it there. So I like hurried up and just started throwing stuff around in the room just so I could just finish that room and just get out of there, because seeing those two lamps not match was just really bugging me. So as you can see, here's the chess table. It didn't want to go in. I had to move it and stuff so I could get the chairs to snap. But the yard is, like I said, only 20 by 20. And as you can see right there, there isn't a whole lot of squares behind the house. I pretty much used the entire lot. But I do tend to do that. I'm not much for an exterior decorator. I'll put some landscaping in the front yard, but that's really about it. Those who download my houses are pretty much already know that there's nothing going to be in the backyard. Now, I've had comments on some of my older builds and stuff before, any commentary or anything like that before I was doing that, saying how you did absolutely nothing in the backyard. Why would you leave it bare? Why can't you decorate it more? Why this? Why that? You know what? Not everybody does. I am not the only one who doesn't do that. There's a lot of builders out there that don't touch the backyard. You know what? Don't be lazy and just do it yourself. You're obviously having the sim live there, so you might as well just do it yourself. Decorate it for your own personal use. I put a teeter-totter out there because there's a child bed. Well, anyway, ranting over. These are the screenshots. This is what the house looked like prior. Here is what the house looked like after. I hope you enjoyed. Any comments or suggestions, go ahead and leave them below. I always love reading your comments. You guys are wonderful and amazing and are always so nice. And I enjoy talking with every one of you. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.